Alrighty, we are going to read more of Sunset of the Saber-Tooth. We left off with Jack and Annie. They found themselves some warm clothes, and then they were in a cave and they found some paintings made by cavemen. So, wow, what is this place? Said Jack. Maybe it's an art gallery, said Annie. I don't think so, said Jack. It's too hard to get to. He read about cave paintings. These Ice Age beasts were painted 25,000 years ago. Cro-Magnons painted pictures of animals they hunted. They believed the paintings would give them power over the animals. Wow, look at this, said Annie. She pointed at a painting farther down the wall. It showed a figure with human arms and legs, reindeer antlers, and an owl face. It seemed to be holding a flute. Jack looked at the book again. He found a picture of the figure, and it read, Cavemen may have been led by a sorcerer or master of the animals. He may have worn reindeer antlers so he could run like a reindeer, and an owl mask so he could see like an owl. You can see, you can see them in the cave with cave paintings. What is it? Said Annie. The master of animals, said Jack. He's a sorcerer. Oh, wow, breathed Annie. That's it. That's what? That's who we have to find. Why? Maybe he's a friend of Morgan Le Fay's, said Annie. Jack nodded slowly. Maybe, he said. Let's go find him, said Annie. They went back through the tunnel and into the first cave. We better put our lamps back, said Jack. He and Annie blew out their lamps. Excuse me. I'm sorry. They placed them back by the fire. Jack's backpack was on the floor next to the skins. He put the Ice Age book into it. How's Peanut? Said Annie. Jack looked into his pack. She's not here, he said. Oh no, cried Annie. She must have crawled out when we were looking at the paintings. Peanut, they both called. Annie walked slowly around the cave, looking into the shadows. Jack peered around the fire and under each of the furry skins. Jack, come here, said Annie. She was standing near the entrance to the cave. The snow had stopped falling, and in the snow there were tiny tracks. Chapter 6 is called Song on the Wind. Peanut's track, said Annie. We have to find her before she freezes. She wrapped her ranger coat around her head across the snow. Jack pulled on his backpack and followed. The mouse's tracks led them between a fallen rock and back onto the open plain. The wind blew harder. The snow swirled over the ground, covering the tiny footprints. I can't see them anymore, wailed Annie. She and Jack now stood in the middle of the plain. They stared at the wind-swept snow. The mouse's tracks had vanished. Yikes, whispered Annie, staring up. Jack followed her gaze. On one of the cliffs was a tiger. A giant tiger with 2 long, sharp fangs. A saber-tooth, said Jack. I hope he doesn't see us, whispered Annie. Me too, Jack whispered back. We better head back to the treehouse. Jack and Annie stepped very softly across the snow. Then, excuse me. Reading always makes me sleepy. Jack and Annie stepped very softly across the snow. Then Jack glanced back at the cliff. The saber-tooth was gone. Oh man, he said, where is he? Run to the trees, said Annie. He and Annie started running. They ran over snowy plain, heading towards the tall, bare trees in the distance. Suddenly, Jack heard crack. The ground caved in, and Jack went with it. Annie fell beside him. They crashed down onto a heap of branches, snow, and earth. They struggled to stand. Jack pushed his glasses into place. You all right? He asked Annie. Yeah, she said. They both looked up. They were in a deep hole. All Jack could see were gray clouds moving overhead. This is a trap, Jack said. The Cro-Magnons must have put branches over this hole. Then the snow hid the branches, so we didn't see them. There's no way out, said Annie. She was right. They were helpless. The pit was too deep to climb out of. I feel like a trapped animal, Annie said. Me too, said Jack. He heard a yowl in the distance. The saber-tooth, whispered Annie. Jack pulled out the Ice Age book. He found a picture of a saber-tooth, and he read, The saber-tooth was the fiercest beast of the Ice Age. It attacked humans as well as woolly mammoths and other large animals. Oh, brother, said Jack. Listen, Annie grabbed him. What? Jack jumped. I hear music. Jack listened, but all he heard was the wind. You hear it? Said Annie. No, said Jack. Listen carefully. He closed his eyes. He listened very carefully. He heard the wind, but this time he heard another sound too. Strange, haunting music. Ah, cried Annie. Jack opened his eyes. Staring down at them was a figure wearing reindeer antlers and an owl mask. The sorcerer, whispered Jack. Squeak! Peanut peered down at them, too. So, can you see that? That's the sorcerer there. I don't see Peanut in that picture, though. That is the end of that chapter. Our next chapter is called The Sorcerer's Gift, and we are not going to read it yet. Okay? Now, for writing today, I want you to remember, every time Jack and Annie go on a trip in the Magic Tree House, they either have to solve a riddle or find something, and they have to find something this time that starts with M. So at the beginning, I don't know if you remember what they found. I could only remember one, so I had to look back. They found a moonstone and a mango. So at this ice age, they have to find something that starts with M as well. So for writing today, I want you to make a guess about what Jack and Annie will find that starts with an M. Now maybe it's something you only find in winter or in the ice age. I'm just writing a sentence here. So you just need one sentence and you'll write, I think, you don't have to write this exactly, but this would be a good sentence. I think they will find, So what do you think they will find that starts with an M? Could you say coconut? No, because that doesn't start with M. So think of something they could find that starts with M. Maybe only something you can find in the Ice Age. I don't know. I'd love to see what your guess is. And I'm wondering, because our next chapter is called The Sorcerer's Gift, I'm wondering if the sorcerer is going to give them the thing that starts with M. I'm really interested to find out. So we'll read the chapter 7 sometime this week and we'll find out together.